Driving past the old Hensley place on a Saturday night, the barn still standing barely, leaning left in the fading light. That list to the west, it ain't from age or wind or rot. That lean was put there by the weight of everything we've got. It was 1978, a harvest celebration. Somebody's daddy played guitar, no formal invitation. You wore your mama's yellow dress, I wore my Sunday shoes, and we two-stepped through the whole night long with nothing left to lose. The lanterns hung from rusted nails along the cedar beams. The floor was rough-hewn poplar boards held tight at every seam. But when you took my hand in yours and pulled me to the center, the whole world shrank to just that barn, and you became the winner. I mean the shelter from it all. You were my warm place then, and every autumn since that night I find my way back when. The wind comes through the side and cracks and hums a tune I know, the same one that was played when we danced so long ago. The barn still leans the way we used to dance, tilted toward you like it never had a chance. Old wood remembers every step, every turn, every glance. The barn still leans the way we used to dance. The kids who grew up on this land don't know the barn's old story. They see a cricket shed out back, not a cathedral of glory. But I see lantern light on cedar, I hear that guitar ring, I feel your hand inside my own, and both of us in spring. Even though it's autumn now and you've been gone a while, the barn still holds its lean for you. The barn still holds your smile. They ought to tear it down, folks say, before the next hard storm. But something in me prays it stays leaning true and warm. The barn still leans the way we used to dance, tilted toward you like it never had a chance. Old wood remembers every step, every turn, every glance. The barn still leans the way we used to dance. If they ever let it fall, I'll gather up a board, nail it somewhere on my wall, a relic I'll afford. And I'll tell my grandkids, see that lean, that ain't a fault or flaw. That's where your granddaddy first danced and first understood love's law. Before we begin tonight's story, I'd like to thank everyone who's been traveling these country roads with us for a while. If these songs have ever brought back a special memory, feel free to leave a like. And if you're new here and enjoy what you hear, we'd love to have you join us on this journey through stories, memories, and timeless country music. Found it hanging on the back of the old mudroom door, a canvas jacket faded brown, a relic from before. I slipped my hand into the pocket, quiet, still and deep, and pulled out all the summer we had promised we would keep. There was a movie ticket stub from July down at the drive, the night the whole town smelled of hay, and you were barely 5 miles from leaving, but your laugh was loud enough to stay. I kept that ticket, kept that laugh, put them both away. A dried up clover with 4 leaves pressed flat against the seam. You picked it near the river bend and gave it like a dream. Said, luck like this don't happen twice, so keep it somewhere close. Now I hold it to the window light. It's you I love the most. What the world calls just old junk, I call the kind of treasure that no auction block could ever weigh, no dollar bill could measure. I folded our summer into an old jacket pocket, the warmth of those days tucked away like a locket. A ticket, a clover, a note in your hand, proof that we lived, proof that we loved this old land. Time keeps on moving, but honey, I've got it. Our summer still lives in this old jacket pocket. There's a photograph in there too, edges gone soft and warm. Us on the porch swing barefoot, the morning after the storm. You're leaning on my shoulder like you never meant to go. I must have looked at that old picture 50 times or more below. The kitchen lamp on winter nights when summer felt too far, and found us there forever young, right where we always are. Time will wear the barns and bridges, fade the ink on handwritten pages, but it can't reach down inside this cloth and steal what love engraves. I folded our summer into an old jacket pocket, the warmth of those days tucked away like a locket. A ticket, a clover, a note in your hand, proof that we lived, proof that we loved this old land. Time keeps on moving, but honey, I've got it. Our summer still lives this old jacket pocket. I hung it back up on the door when the evening came. Left our whole summer right there. Every joy, every name. And someday when someone finds it hanging in that hall, they'll know two people loved a summer harder than them all. Nobody farms Miller's Field anymore. The corn rows stand untended. The old John Deere sits rusting where a decade's rain has blended. It's green into the earth below, red rust into the weeds. But come July, I drive back out to where the darkness leads. We were 17 the first time that we stretched out on the hood. Grandmother's old quilt spread flat the way summer should. You named the constellations low while I pretended knowing, and let your voice become the map to where my heart was going. There wasn't any neon light within a dozen miles, just fireflies negotiating through the dark in single files. You said these stars have seen everything, they're old and they remember. I said then let them see us now. It was the end of September, and we wrote our names across the sky without a pen or paper. Just two young hearts aimed upward, like a prayer or something greater. The stars above Miller's Field remember us. Two kids and a quilt and an unspoken trust. They watched us fall in love before we knew the word. They heard promise, every last unbroken word. Time has scattered us like seed on different ground, but look up on a clear July, we can still be found. I go back alone now, but I always bring the quilt, the same one faded further, worn through years of joy and guilt. And wonder if I should have stayed, or if the leaving saved us both. The Miller's Field don't judge a man, it only holds his oath. Somewhere on a different porch, beneath a different sky, are you looking at the same stars and thinking of July? Do they still remember you the way they still remember a girl with constellation names and the end of September? The stars above Miller's Field and an unspoken trust. They watched us fall in love before we knew the word. They heard every promise, every last unbroken word. Time has scattered us like seed on different ground, but look up on a clear July, we can still be found. I'll be 80-some and still come back out here some night. Lay this old quilt on this old hood, underneath this ancient light. The stars above Miller's Field will lean down low and say, we remember, we remember, we remember to this day. I don't play for crowds or money anymore. I play for you. The same 3 chords we learned together back when life was new. I tune this old guitar each night by feel more than by pitch, and somewhere in the resonance there's still that perfect stitch, that harmonic that sounds like the way you used to call my name. I'd give up every song I know to hear that sound again. You taught me the G chord first, said it was the key to everything. From G you can reach any place that any song can bring. You placed my fingers on the frets with patience I'd not known, and hummed along in harmony until the music found its own. We'd sit out on the porch until the lightning bugs all lit, playing songs that somebody else wrote first, but still they fit our story better than we knew. Every word was ours to keep. Now every song I sing alone puts someone else to sleep. Down the hall, a child who has your eyes and your grandmother's hair, and when she finally drifts away, you somehow still are there. There's a frequency the old wood holds, a resonance below the note, and every time I find it, it's your voice inside my throat. I hear your voice between these guitar strings, in the spaces where the silence breathes and sings. Every chord I've learned since you've been gone is just another way I carry you along. Music keeps you here, it keeps you real. I hear your voice between these guitar strings still. I found your old chord chart last fall inside the case lining, your handwriting in pencil, notes and arrows still aligning. to the songs we planned to learn but never got around to. I learned them all last winter, every last one I found you. In each melody I finally played, you left your voice as breadcrumbs in the music of this old guitar, in every ring and drum strum. They say the ones we've loved don't truly disappear. They echo in the instruments we hold most dear. So I'll keep playing every night until my hands give out, because that's when I hear you clearest. Without any doubt, I hear your voice between these guitar strings, in the spaces where the silence breathes and sings. Every chord I've learned since you've been gone is just another way I carry you along. Music keeps you here, it keeps you real. I hear your voice between these guitar strings still. Some nights the strings go quiet after the last chord rings out, and in that quiet, full and deep, I never have a doubt you're listening from somewhere warm, somewhere beyond the dark, humming the harmony, still living in my heart. If this song reminded you of someone whose voice still echoes through the soundtrack of your life, please leave a like. Subscribe for more country songs filled with heart and memory, and tell us in the comments whose voice you still hear when the music plays.
Oiled the hinges on that stable door last spring, not because the horses needed it or any practical thing. I oiled it so it wouldn't creak and wake me in the night with the sound of something that I'd think just for a second might be right. You always came in through the stable, never through the house. Said it felt more like arriving home, quiet as a mouse. To anyone who didn't know, but to the horses it was clear. Old Penny always nickered soft whenever you were near. She still does sometimes when the south wind carries something warm. She lifts her head and turns toward the door before the storm of ordinary evening falls back over the stall again. I used to think she sensed the weather, now I think it's wind. The wind brings something of you back, a molecule, a trace, and Penny's just a better instrument for finding your face. So I keep the hay fresh and not just for the horses, but for someone I refuse to stop waiting to know. The stable door still opens, like you're coming home, like everything I built out here was never built alone. Penny still turns toward the wind, the lantern still glows warm, the stable door still opens, like you're coming home. Your saddle's on the second rack, polished twice a year. Your boots are by the tack wall, where you always left them near. People say I ought to move those things, store them out of sight, but hope's the only crop that grows out here without the light. And if I put those boots away, I'm putting something else to rest. The part of me still counting on you, passing my last test. I don't know if you're coming back, I don't even know your road, but hope's a lighter thing to carry than a grief that's fully grown. The stable door still opens, like you're coming home, like everything I built out here was never built alone. Penny still turns toward the wind, the lantern still glows warm, the stable door still opens, like you're coming home. Tonight I left it open, let the summer air come through. Penny paced the stall a while, like she was waiting to. And somewhere in this Tennessee night, under this same old sky, I hope you felt the stable door swing open and wondered why. If this song brought back someone you're still quietly waiting for, please leave a like. Subscribe for more country stories that understand the feeling of hope and longing, and share your story with us in the comments.
Found it in the cabinet behind the mason jars, the blue one with a chip along the lip from when the car was loaded up that morning, and we both reached for the door. You left without it, left a lot of things, and left some more. It was your first cup every morning, 2 sugars cream. No cream most mornings, you just settle for the dream of a better grocery run, a better pantry stocked,
We were always running short on something, and then the door locked. I washed it twice before I put it where it lives now, debating every single rinse, the whens and whys and hows of keeping something so specific, so entirely yours, that sits here like a question mark about unfinished floors, unfinished conversations, unfinished plans for spring. Your coffee cup stayed longer than near anything. The windowsill, the bedroom wall, those took me weeks to change. But that blue cup I haven't moved, I know it's passing strange. Your coffee cup stayed longer than you did, more faithful to this kitchen than anything you ever said. Chipped and worn, slightly stained, a different kind of lid on everything I felt the morning that you finally hid from this old house. Your coffee cup stayed longer than you did. I used it once last February just to see how that would go. Poured my own 2 sugar, no cream coffee, watched it glow in the winter morning light from the east facing window pane. The cup felt wrong in my hand, like wearing someone else's name. I set it back down carefully and went back to my own. Some things are just to somebody else to make your own. Objects hold more loyalty than hearts sometimes. The wood, the glass, the chip blue glaze, they don't just pick up and walk away on ordinary days. Your coffee cup stayed longer than you did, more faithful to this kitchen than anything you ever said. Chipped and worn, slightly stained, a different kind of lid on everything I felt the morning that you finally hid from this old house. Your coffee cup stayed longer than you did. It's still there, I think it always will be, if I'm honest now. A blue sentry on the second shelf, a quiet chiplet vow, not a shrine, not a sadness, more a nod to what was real. Some things stay when others leave, some things stay and still feel. Water's got a memory that scientists won't admit. How else explain that bending pool that catches every bit of light the way it did that afternoon in '74, when we were young and leaning over, studying the river flow? You were tracing your own reflection with a willow switch you cut, drawing loops around your face and laughing in that rut between the serious and free, where only you could live. I watched you be yourself completely. That's the greatest gift that any witness ever gets, to see a person whole and real, not performing for the world, just being what they feel. The sycamores have grown so large since we stood in their shade. Their roots grip the clay bank like promises that were made. The current's still the same old current, still the color of good clay, still carrying the same old questions out and then away. Where does a river end? Does anything we feel persist? Then the water gave us both back to each other. We still exist. I went back last August on the same kind of afternoon. The light, the same pale gold. It was I hummed our favorite tune. The riverbed still holds our reflection, two faces caught in time, and in the current's soft affection. You and me at 20 in the clay gold Tennessee light. The river bend still holds what the years can never quite wash away or carry off or dissolve into the sea. The river bend still holds you, and it still holds me. My own face looked back older, creased at the eyes and brow, but underneath the age I found the same face somehow. And just beyond the edge of mine, past where the sycamore roots break the surface in the shimmer, yours in work boots, laughing with that willow switch like 40 years ago. Water never lets you leave completely. Now I know. Let the years come and reconfigure everything above. Let the barns fall and the roads reroute for progress and for love. Down below the river surface, in that bending patient pool, time runs sideways, not away, and we were always cool. The riverbed still holds our reflection, two faces caught in time, and in the current's soft affection. You and me at 20 in the clay gold Tennessee light. The river bend still holds what the years can never quite wash away or carry off or dissolve into the sea. The river bend still holds you, and it still holds me. I touched the water with my hand before I turned to go. It was cold and real and moving, everything we know. And when the ripples settled back, I gave myself a look. Still here, still yours, still in this bend, still in this book.
Starlight Grill on 41 closed down around 88, but the neon sign still flickers out there. Somebody left the fate of that old rose-colored glow to time and weather and the dark. I pass it on my way to work, and every flash leaves a mark. We were 22 and reckless in the best way that you can be, splitting the last $4 on a Coke and a black coffee. Bobby at the counter knew our order, knew our booth, the corner one beneath the jukebox that was our unchallenged truth. 3 Merle Haggard songs for a quarter on a Friday night, the whole diner smelling like fried chicken and everything right. We had nothing much to show the world and didn't need to show it. We had each other and a song, and both of us could feel it. This is the good part, this right here, this booth, this light. We were too young to know to hold it, and we held it tight. Now I've got a bigger house, a newer truck, a fuller tank of gas, but nothing's topped that corner booth. Some things you can't surpass. We left our best years under neon lights, split black coffee and laughed through ordinary nights. No fortune, no ambition, just the music and the haze, and the golden glow and fleeting miracle of those days. I'd trade everything I've gathered since for one more ordinary night. We left our best years under those neon lights. Bobby's been gone 8 years now. His daughter runs a feed store. The Starlight's been a tire shop and a church and a hardware floor. But if you were to dig beneath the linoleum of that place, you'd find our initials scratched into the wood at the corner space, where 2 kids left their fingerprints on an otherwise plain Tuesday and turned it into a cathedral without meaning to that way. Rich don't mean a filled up wallet. Sometimes rich is all you spent. Every dollar we put in that jukebox bought something permanent. We left our best years under neon lights, split black coffee and laughed through ordinary nights. No fortune, no ambition, just the music and the haze, and the golden glow and fleeting miracle of those days. I trade everything I've gathered since for one more ordinary night. We left our best years under those neon lights. The sign still flickers some nights when the temperature gets low. One pink letter at a time, putting on a quiet show. And I swear it spells out something when the letters line up right. We were here, we were happy, we were neon in the night.
a like. Subscribe for more country songs that bring old memories back to life. And tell us in the comments about a moment that still shines in your heart today.
Thought I'd outrun you by heading further west, but turned my truck around when November came and pressed against the windshield like a memory I couldn't shake. Some roads only lead you back, no matter how much distance you make. Old Route 7 past the quarry where we swam in June, the gravel shoulder where I pulled over to catch the moon, rising orange over the ridgeline while you slept against my arm. Every mile of that road holds you like a farm holds a barn. County Road 14, the shortcut past the Henderson's place, where you always made me stop to let the horses come and grace. Your open palm with their soft muzzles steam against the cold. The Hendersons are gone now, but the horses still are bold. And I still stop, I always stop. I hold my palm out too, but their breath on my hand just reminds me it ain't you. Can't take a shortcut, can't avoid the long way home. Every single road around here leads me back to you alone. Every back road around here knows your name. Every crossroads holds the echo of your frame. The ditches and the deer trails, every old twin rut lane, every back road around here knows your name. There's a dead end off Mill Creek where we parked that Christmas Eve. Snow on every cedar bough, you wouldn't let me leave without one more hour of the radio and your head on my chest. I drive by every December still, I confess. I park there in the dark sometimes and turn the radio on and wait for something that I know for certain is long gone. Maybe I should move away and find some unfamiliar ground, roads where no one knows your name and no one knows the sound of your laugh in every passing wind, your shadow on the road. But leaving is the heaviest and loneliest of loads. Every back road around here knows your name. Every crossroads holds the echo of your frame.
road around here knows your name. So I'll keep driving these old roads until the engine fails, reading your name in every turn, your story in the trails. And when they finally lay me down in the churchyard at the hill, these back roads will know